Hey folks, this is Mike Anti at Sailfish Solar. I just wanted to check in and give you an update on the solar provisions inside of the Inflation Reduction Act. You might have seen this weekend that the Senate passed the Inflation Reduction Act, and now we're waiting on the House, obviously, to pass their version, or excuse me, to pass the final version of the bill, and of course, it'll be signed into law by the president. I think, generally speaking, the optimism is pretty high that there aren't going to be any more challenges in the House. The big hurdles that we had to clear were in the Senate. So the good news is this is a 30% tax credit, so it's gonna boost the existing 26% tax credit up to 30%. So that's obviously a very good thing. The other positive thing is any projects that were actually implemented this year in 2022 will be in retrospect honored with that 30%. So you basically get a 4% bump this year, which is pretty nice. One of the big question marks that we had, and unfortunately there's very little kind of information out there on this. The Industry Association of Florida is called FLOSIA. They're kind of out to lunch on the issue. You really don't hear anything at all from those guys. But because of the hard work of the Florida Solar and Storage Association, flstorage.org, we found out that that some of these provisions are actually pretty positive. The one being the ability to roll over. We weren't sure if that was in the final language, but it turns out if things stay the way they are, that you can carry over the tax credit. So what that means is if your system is let's call it $60,000 or $50,000 for argument's sake, 30% of that, the way we had originally understood it, had to be taken as a tax credit all in year one. The way that it works right now, prior to this bill passing, is you can spread that 26%, the current tax credit, over many years. And as it looks, if things stay the way they are, it'll stay the same, where you can take that 30% and spread it over multiple years. That's helpful if somebody doesn't have, let's say, a $12,000, $13,000, $14,000 worth of tax liability in a given year. They can spread that over multiple years. A couple other cool things that are in this, assuming that it goes through as planned. There are bonus investment tax credits if the equipment meets a certain threshold of domestic production. That's a little bit harder than it sounds, because the reality is a lot of these equipment is made in Korea and Thailand and Vietnam, even some Chinese product, which we at Sailfish Solar don't really use, but it is part of the industry at the end of the day. It's kind of hard to get around that. So the devil's kind of in the details on that one. Is to be determined whether or not the majority of the equipment that's used in the United States will qualify for that bonus tax credit. But it's nice to see it in there. So a lot of people are celebrating this. I think that this bill, it's a massive spending bill. And hopefully it is going to boost, this kind of step towards a clean energy future, which is what everybody is excited about. I'm fairly optimistic that it's going to do the right thing for the solar industry. The other 300 some $billion I can't really account for, but that's not not my position to say. But generally speaking, we're excited about the rollover is going to stay in place. That's kind of the big one. We're excited that the 30% is going to go up, or go from 26 to 30%, and we're excited that the people who actually implemented a project this year are going to be able to take advantage of that. So we're going to keep an eye on this. We'll keep you updated, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of update because I know I left you with a question mark on that one last time we did a video. As soon as the House passes this, we'll give you an update there, and then we'll look for it to be signed by the president and to become law. If anything changes, I'll certainly let you all know. But generally speaking, this is good news, and I just thought I'd give you guys that update. All right, that's it for now. Please if you like this video, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and stick around for more quality content in the future. All right, thanks for stopping by.